Giving is at the very heart of the Christian good news. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son. Jesus gave his life as a ransom for many. And the central vocation of the followers of Jesus is to share in that giving, to reflect the very nature of God in his world. And the nature of God, like that of any lover, is to give. None of us can love without giving. For many of us, our view of issues such as giving and generosity is a bit like a partially completed jigsaw. Whilst we've put together some of the pieces, there are still some blank spaces, and some of the fragments that we've assembled need joining together. For some people, seeing the connection between loving God and making a realistic weekly or monthly offering is the missing piece of the jigsaw. Perhaps our unique history as the Church of England is part of the problem. For centuries, finance rarely affected church members in the pew. The inherited wealth from past generations was largely responsible for keeping the local show on the road. Giving was not really a great issue. And yet, giving has always been an issue, a spiritual issue, a discipleship issue. At the heart and origin of our universe is a generous creator, one whom we Christians dare to believe is the God of love, one who, in this immensity of creation, reveals himself in our solar system and on our planet Earth as one who, because he loves, gives. Why? Because he can do no other. It is to address this ongoing scenario that General Synod applied itself in July 2009 to the report Giving for Life. What's new about this report compared to its predecessors? The clue is in its title. It's a report which encourages us to take an holistic view of giving, not just to do with finance, but to do with our whole lifestyle. We're encouraged to be Christian stewards in the complete meaning of stewardship, how we take responsibility for the environment, as well as for spending our money, including our responsibility for giving to God and his church. Giving for Life puts squarely before us in our congregations 4 vital concepts: discipleship, lifestyle, mission, and generosity. First of all, discipleship. The claim of Giving for Life is that how we handle money, wealth, and possessions is a central part of our discipleship. Then, lifestyle, teaching that generous giving cannot be from our spare cash. And mission, our giving of time, money, and talents, resources, God's mission in the world. But often the connection is not made well, and committed regular givers don't really understand where their giving is going. Finally, generosity, one of the values that should mark us out as Christians, whether the generosity in giving money shown by the widow's mite, the generosity of the Good Samaritan in engaging with the needs of strangers, or our generosity in time or talents. If you keep your food in a refrigerator, your clothes in a wardrobe, sleep in a bed, and have a roof over your head, you are richer than 75% of the world's population. Of every 100 people in our world, 71 struggle to live on $2 a day, or even less. Many, if not most things, are relative, but even relatively speaking, most of us who belong to the church in the Diocese of Worcester are comparatively affluent. Our Christian discipleship and lifestyle should reflect not only our commitment to Christ, but also a realistic assessment of where we stand in relationship to the wealth distribution in our world. Giving for Life is a strategy intended to enable the Church of England to move forward with confidence into the 21st century, to move in God's mission, empowered by God's Spirit, recognised as Christ's followers. A question which is increasingly being asked is, why should I give to the church when I give to other charities? It's a fair question. We need to use every opportunity to offer answers, but we need to have answers which engage people. Where is our local church going? What vision do we have? The Christian movement began with an experience. The experience was of the risen Christ and of the Spirit of God. One result of the birth experience of our movement was a sense of mission, of direction. If we're honest, it has to be admitted that, in contrast to the beginnings of our movement, local churches today often find themselves without vision or direction. Local churches are often found to be in recycling mode rather than mission mode, with year on year of the same activities. Human beings are unlikely to be drawn either to join or to support an organisation which seems to be going nowhere. Just as we need a sense of purpose in our own lives, we need the same in our church if we are to feel a satisfaction in belonging to it. And this is entirely consistent with the God of mission, who has, from the beginning of time, had a purpose for his creation. And that includes us and the church. In our own diocese, our sense of direction and vision has for a while now been expressed in the Jigsaw logo. 6 pieces representing our 6 priorities for a healthy church. Worship God, rid the world of poverty, share the gospel, build inclusive communities, help people to faith, and care for the earth. Of these, help people to faith is the one that Bishops' Council, in committing itself to mission, has highlighted. It has identified 3 priorities within it upon which we are being encouraged to focus: the deepening of our prayer life, the renewal of public worship, and the equipping of people to share their faith. Bishop John has written that these priorities will help us focus upon the mission and evangelism which are so necessary at the present time, and which will enable the development of vibrant churches in a diocese which is living the life. All sorts of resources are available. There's a pack for each parish. It includes guides for the clergy and the PCC or DCC. It includes a useful tool to help the PCC on this journey of discipleship and mission. There will be downloadable resources on the diocesan website, and there are links to other very useful websites. There are diocesan officers who would love to come and assist with all aspects of your parish mission and in helping you to discover where it is that God may be wanting to lead. In parish churches and church groups all over the Diocese of Worcester, God's mission to his world through his church takes place in often unspectacular and quiet ways. In green and leafy rural parishes, and in the urban sprawl of the Black Country, and all places in between. The Church of England, through its paid and unpaid clergy and volunteer ministers, gets on with the job, worshipping God day by day and offering care and service to the people who live in its parishes, young and old, in times of celebration and joy and suffering and death. The Church worships and teaches and ministers. Baptisms are celebrated and families welcomed. The faithful gather week by week at the Lord's table, and the festivals are times of community celebration and worship. Our young people are educated and cared for and encouraged to enjoy themselves in God's church. All of this celebration of the life of God, Father, Son and Spirit, all of this celebration of the life of humanity, all of this ministry to the people of the diocese, all possible because of the generous financial sharing of the people of our parishes. Where can your parish fit into this patchwork quilt of mission that covers Worcestershire and part of the Black Country? This is the Diocese of Worcester, striving to wait upon God and to discover his will. Where do you fit into it? Giving for life. Life-giving. Giving throughout life. Giving life. Giving in all of life. Christians are challenged to be generous in every aspect of their lives. It's not only about giving money, but offering hospitality, giving time, and using other skills in church, but also in our homes, our workplaces and communities. Giving is the outworking of faith. Giving is being like Jesus. In the words of St. Irenaeus, Christ became what we are, so that we might become what he is.